So I went to DJ Sports Cards in Renton, Washington, picked up a few things for my Ken Griffey Jr. basic set run. 1993 Donruss, 1993 Pinnacle, 1994 Score, 1995 Upper Deck. Guess I just got two of them. Not sure what the deal was with that. So $2-3 down the drain. And this Donruss 1995. I also picked up a stack of 1963 tops. Really not a focus of mine. Back burner, working on those. So I'll just stack these cards here, kind of see what I got. Most of these are good to fair, a little bit miscut there. So some decent players here. I'll not read off them all, but decent condition largely. Jackson Rickey Cup. Joel Horland was a good player. Camilo Carrion. I think he has a son that played as well. And Bobby Del Greco. Dick Farrell has a son who played, different last name. Karl Swatsky. Harvey Haddix, formerly of the Reds. Jim Coates. Orlando Pena. Billy Hitchcock. Glenn Hobie. Lenny Green. I also met Bader there, Bader's Hobby Life. Anyway, we traded a few cards before we went in, and I got this in trade, 58 Stan Musial All-Star, 58 Eddie Matthews All-Star, 59 Bill Skowron All-Star, and this 1959 Cubs Clubbers with Banks, with Dale Long, and Walt Morin. That's my pickups from DJ Sports Cards on May 2nd. Also this month, I got a ComC order back. Let me show you what those are. Let me start out with some football. Here is a 1981 TCMA Les Richter. Got a couple of 1962 Post cards for my set there. I'll never complete that set because a few cards are several $100s. I'm not going to do it. And then a couple of 1962 Fleer AFL cards for a set. Also have cards for George Crow, a player run, 1988 Johnson Cookies, maybe a reprint, I think. And a couple of reprints for John and Ed O'Brien from 1991. I don't often do brothers and sister cards, but I got this for Reggie Miller. And what I have is he and his sister, Cheryl, that both played on USA basketball team in the Olympics. Cool. Also picked up these 1969 Sports Collector photo stamps of the Pilots, Seattle Pilots. So here they are. Jack Aker, Ray Euler. First one was Don Mincher. Tommy Davis. Steve Barber. Can actually read the autographs there, so I don't need to look at the label on the back. Gary Bell. Chico Salmon, or Samone. And Tommy Harper. And let me show you some of my cards for player runs, 62 tops. I'm not sure why I got two birdie tablets. I tried to double check, but evidently not good enough. Some 1960 cards, high numbers, so really nice looking cards. You can see a team set and also World Series insert for 1960. I got George Crow for the player run. Norm Larker also for the 1960. Beautiful card, a little bit off center top to bottom, but beautiful. Also Hoyt Wilhelm. Not sure why they used that picture. Squinting. Thought you took 2 or 3, so you didn't do that. Chuck Stobbs. Don Mossy. Wrong team, huh, Scott? Anyway, now I've got him in 1960. Beautiful Bobby Richardson card, a little bit off center, but it'll look great in the binder. As will that Marv Throneberry in the typical 1958 Yankee kind of orange color in the background, same as Mickey Mantle and other Yankees. Rocky Colavito, Billy Pierce, Alvin Dark, Sandy Amorose, Bob Skinner, Cal Neiman, all beautiful cards. ComC. Also got this 57 Dodgers card. Mine was really, really beat up from my boyhood days, so I got this one. Love that card for the 58 set. And a 57 Phillies team card. Not certain why I got this other than it's a Richie Ashburn Playing Days card. Maybe that's why I got it, and I'll stick it in that set. And whoever watched my video from last month saw that I picked up Billy Shantz. Picked up another one, evidently. Now some Mariner cards. You know, what I don't get is these are all different Ken Griffey Jr. cards, all different milestones on the bottom. They all have the same number on the back. Why would they do that? Just the same thing with Alex Rodriguez cards. These, you can see 1996 batting leader, 1996 player of the year, wins $1 million, 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases. They all have the same number on the bottom. Just beyond me. And there are others that have the same but different players. Just boggles my mind. Here are some others. So these all fill in holes in my Mariner team sets that I'm collecting, all tops from 1977 through 2026 now. And here is just various cards, miscellaneous cards I didn't have. Prospect cards, Chris Snelling, love Chris Snelling. What could have been, J.J. Putz, good reliever. Prospect of Gilmesh and Daeho Lee. He was fun to watch when he was the Mariners for a year or so. Ken Griffey Jr., maybe that's for my basic player run. Randy Johnson. Again, this is one of these one-off things that share a number with another player. The U.S. 99 high number series, and I don't get it. Edwin Nunez, Miguel Cairo, Eric Bedard, a short time with Mariners. Alex Rodriguez, 2001. Here's a cool card of Ichiro and Chase Utley. And then just some checklists that mention the Mariners on there. And then also, here's a 2002 Topps Griffey Mariners Reds. And Gold Glove John Olerud. And then a bunch of leader cards. League leaders. So I picked up all these guys, various players. Ichiro on that one. Pitching with Freddie Garcia, Alex Rodriguez, and Brett Boone on that one. Alex with the Rangers. Ichiro, batting leader. Raul Ibanez, RBIs. Ichiro, hits leader. Nelson Cruz, home runs. Ichiro, batting leaders. And Felix. Here are my eBay pickups for the first half of May 2026. I'm collecting Mariner Manager cards, and I have Playing Days cards of all these guys. Del Crandall is the fourth Mariner Manager, was an all-star catcher for the Braves for many years. Chuck Carrier, the fifth Mariner Manager, and Dick Williams, who is a Hall of Famer, I believe, was the fifth Mariner Manager, or the sixth Mariner Manager, and Jim Snyder, seventh Mariner Manager. So this is one I bought. I don't normally buy slabbed cards, but this was a good deal at the price. Here is the rookie cards of Ichiro and Albert Pujols, their rookie seasons. So there'll be two Hall of Famers on that one here shortly. Here is a Felix Hernandez update card. All-Star. Here's the wins leader for 2021, who remembered that Chris Flexen was a wins leader that year. Here's another Ichiro and Albert card from 2004. Here is a 2023, I believe, Mike Trout and Julio Rodriguez. 2026, Brian Wu, one of my favorite pitchers. Another favorite player, though he had a short career, Chris Snelling, Mariners. Also picked up this Ted Kluszewski for my player run there for Trading Card Database. and picked up this postcard. A little bit different than the ones I've been picking up. Still working on the baseball kidlets cards, but this was never postmarked, but some sort of a note on there, I guess, just never got mailed. So here are eBay pickups from where I left off last time. So kind of the middle of the month, maybe the third week of the month. Ordered several things on eBay, so let me just show you what I got here. This is a 1981 Fleer of Maury Wells when he managed with the Mariners for a short period of time. And Renee Latchman also was a Mariner manager, short period of time. Here is Earl Torgeson, a local ball player from Snohomish, Washington. Their high school field is actually named after Earl Torgeson. There's a really good player. Here are 1949 Bowman, nice looking card, really, really crisp and nice. And a 1950, love that pose, again with the Boston Braves. He was a really good player. Had a 33 lifetime WAR and 117 OPS plus. Here is Forrest Thompson. He's a big leaguer. I collect Thompson cards for obvious reasons, but here is a 1950 card when he played with the Oakland Oaks in the Pacific Coast League. Here are some 1954 tops. I just picked them up. I'm marginally working on those sets, and if I get them for a good price, I pick them up. Granny Hamner, Stan Jock, a couple of Negro League bridge players. Jehosi Hurd, played 1 year with Baltimore and a handful of years with the Negro Leagues, and same with Jim Pendleton. He played a little bit with the Boston Braves, so this says Milwaukee, so I'll say Milwaukee Braves, and also played Negro Leagues. I bought a couple also cards. Here's a Robin Roberts 1952 Bowman. I collect his cards, trying to get a run. So some nice looking cards in the 55 Bowman. I bought this unauthenticated Bobby Thompson autograph. It kind of looked like it was legit from other autographs that I've seen, so I got this. This is a 1988 Pacific card. Also collect George Crow cards. So this one here is a reprint in 1983 of a 1952 card. The 1952 card is the only playing days card I don't have of him, and the price just keeps going up and up because it's a high number in 1952. So I'll see if I can find one reasonable price at the National. And here is a reprint of the Johnson Cookies card. I have this one in the Johnson Cookie card from 1955, I think. And this is a 1988 Jelfco was the company who reprinted it. I bought some Mariners cards, and this is a 2022 when they made the playoffs for the first time in something like 19 years. And the Tops Now card, I got that for my Mariners team runs. Then got these 2024 Tops Update cards. Kind of amazes me the number of players. Here, this is 2 years ago. Garver still in the team. And these other guys, not so much. Ryan Stanek, who's he with? Maybe Mets now? He was. Matt Brash still with the team. I think he's injured now. And Polanco moved on this year. It's a cool card. Here's Ellie De La Cruz and Julio Rodriguez. Luke Raley's having a decent year for the Mariners this year. Leo Rivas just got sent down to the minors after being with the club for a while. Here is 2025 Tops Update. Andres Munoz, All-Star last year, kind of struggling a little bit this year. Rowdy Tellez, not so much. Dominique Canzone had some moments so far this year. Ben Williamson moved on. Ryland Thomas, don't even remember him ever playing with him. Taylor Saucedo, Sauce, he's moved on. Here is Randy Arozarena and Julio Rodriguez. And Donovan Solano, short-lived. Logan Evans, I'm assuming he's in the minors, but not certain. Miles Mastroboni and Austin Kitchen. I told you before I was collecting these baseball kidlet cards from 1911. And I've now got 5 of the 8 with these two. Missed a foul, but caught a dandy fly. And I've been collecting these only with postmarks. And this looks like a young man. This is postmarked in 1911, I believe. And to a young woman, I'm guessing, Cora. He says, "Friend Cora left Norfolk Sunday at 9 a.m., arriving here at 11:45. Everything fine and dandy. If you walk in your sleep, you know my address. Get that pen of yours out and make things right. Jack." Looks like he's a little bit in the ragged edge, that Jack guy. I don't know. Interesting to find out how that turned out. Hit by the pitcher. And dear friend, was indeed glad to receive your letter. Glad you are feeling so well. Thanks for your good wishes, and I believe they are all being realized. I am very happy. Write me again. I think it says Alice, and almost like it says Chaz right there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, kind of not a very newsy postcard, right? But anyway, that's cool. Maybe something I should have shown you last month, but kind of, I bought this Harmon Killebrew card. He played with the Kansas City Royals in 1975 after 21 years with Washington/Minnesota Twins. And so we all know that he played for Kansas City and then retired. But last month, after my Strongsville visit, I went to visit my son. And may zoom out just a little bit here. I found this picture. Harmon Killebrew hitting in an A's uniform. So I tried to figure out what that was about. I thought this was super interesting photograph. Cost me a couple of bucks. But as it turned out, during 1979 through 1982, he was a television broadcaster for the Oakland A's. And he was an unofficial batting instructor for the A's. And he would suit up sometimes. And evidently, this is sometime between 1979 and 1982. So that was kind of cool. And I also bought this. Here's my first authenticated Richie Ashburn autograph. Richie Ashburn, Hall of Famer, of course. Very good player, very good outfielder. And if you look on Baseball Reference, and I'm going to put his amazing outfield putout record here. Of the top 10 outfielder putout seasons in MLB history, Richie Ashburn holds 6 of the top 10 seasons of most putouts by an outfielder. And I will show that here. Really kind of amazing. And then he's also of the top 20 or top 19, he's also number 19 as well. And if you look at that set of information, if I showed it all to you, there's only 2 other players that have done it twice. And so it's pretty amazing that Richie did it 6 times out of the top 10 seasons. Good player. Yesterday I went up to Bellingham, Washington, about an hour plus drive from my home. Western Washington University is there, and 4 of my grandchildren actually going there. So I arranged to have lunch with them. And of course, in my multitasking mind, I stopped by a card shop too. Here's a 1957 Topps, nice looking card. I'm working on that set a little bit. I think I'm going to pull back a little bit after buying these. And then these are 1960 Fleer cards. I believe these are like the first American Football League cards. Really no big names here, but these were all relatively decent condition, some a bit off center, but for the price and filling in a few holes in a really old set, that's probably not worth much. Seemed like a good deal. Anybody know any of these players? And finally, a coach card that obviously worth more than everything else, $3. So I'm sitting out on the veranda. It's June 2nd. It's an 80-degree day here in Seattle. which is quite unusual. Oftentimes it doesn't get that warm in the summer. But I thought I would film this showing my last week to 10 days worth of cards from May. And so let me show you what I got. Mostly eBay. First of all, this 2022 Topps Now Mariner postseason, the first postseason in 19 years with Luis Castillo. I picked up some Robin Earl cards that I showed a month or two ago. He was a tight end and a running back for the Bears. And this is a sticker, top sticker, and I didn't have it. So I thought, well, doing Robin Earl, I get all this stuff. 1960 Topps, Eddie Matthews, All-Star card. Oscar Brown. You're probably wondering why I picked up Oscar Brown. He played for the Yakima Braves when I was a boy and lived in Yakima, minor league farm team of the Milwaukee Braves at the time. And Oscar Brown played for him, and I pick up former Yakima Braves and Yakima Bears players. I picked up some postcards. They just kind of popped up on eBay, I think $3.50 or something. And they caught my eye, particularly because this one had Vern Stevens on it. He's the second from the left. And this is a TCMA 1983 postcard. But I collect Vern Stevens, and so I got that. Also, a reprint of a 1907 postcard, Herman Schaefer. Some Nolan Ryan's cards. 3 of those. 3 Nolan Ryans here. And with the Rangers. And Cleon Jones with the Mets. Mookie, if you want that one, let me know. Happy to send it to you. I don't need it. And a Wizard card. Ozzie Smith. Let's see. The other thing I got was last year at the card convention that they hold in Seattle. There's one this Saturday. I'll put a little advertisement up on the screen here for that. And before that, Eddie Cardboard Chaos does a little YouTube get together of YouTubers and people who want to show up. And I'll put that information. That'll be on this thing as well. So June 6th. So these are cards that I saw at last year's show. Had never seen them before. I collect all pilot stuff. And so this is a Post-Intelligencer 1978 reprint of a 1969 cards that they printed in the newspaper. So the originals were paper newsprint. And so these are stiffer. On the back, they all have this Seattle PI advertisement. But there's 39 of these cards in the original set. Tommy Harper, Ray Euler, Jerry McNurtry, Dodger Tommy Davis, former Cleveland Indian Barry Bell, and so forth. A bunch of more. And then, so 39 in total. The only other notable players in here are Lou Piniella, who I believe played with them in spring training in 1969, and then he was traded. So, and then also had Jim Bouton, who played with Pilots in 1969. You know the book Ball 4. He's the author of that. So, that's it. That's what I got this month. Thanks for watching. Y'all come back now. Here.